It's gone midnight and I was one of the lucky ones tonight. I didn't go to Selhurst Park. It was my dad's 70th birthday meal, so we had a lovely time. Had my little phone, had my iPhone lent up against the salt and pepper pots. No one actually realised. So I caught most of the game and I'm about to watch the whole thing back now just to understand what happened. If you went tonight, credit to you. It's not a good time to be a Bournemouth supporter at the moment, and I'm just reading a lot of fallout on Facebook and Twitter, etc. And I just felt compelled to do this video. I'm sat in my kitchen at home, drinking a beer, and just wondering how on earth to talk about what's gone on. What I do know is if you subscribe to this channel, you'll get some opinion from fans tomorrow. We've got a few lined up that are coming on, a few voice notes that have come through as well, and we'll post as regularly as we can. We don't want to be doom mongers, but also we don't really want to be brushing it under the carpet as well, because what happened last night is the culmination of a series of abject performances from AFC Bournemouth. Let's face it, we've seen this coming a mile off, but the league position has almost made it an excuse for us not to criticise. Well, whilst at this moment in time it's not getting any worse, I guarantee that tomorrow, Wednesday, it will, and then there's another fixture on Thursday as well. It's scary times given the matches that we've got coming up. Fans are having a go at each other. I posted a retort to James, the moderator of the Loud and Proud forum. Unprovoked, he blocked me, saying that I was wanking over Eddie Howe. Nice of you to picture me in that way, James. You know, whatever floats your boat. I'm not one of those people, but a little bit knee-jerk to be blocking people, but I suppose if I had double geography tomorrow, then I'd be a bit pissed off as well after watching that, so fair play, fella. It's not been good. It's not been good, and, you know, we are really struggling. I don't think now's the time to be having a go at other supporters. At the end of the day, us supporters can have a go at each other, whether we sing from the same hymn sheet or not. It doesn't particularly matter. What matters is what happens on the pitch, of course. We can have a go at each other, we can be divided, but I think as fans we all still come together and we'll get behind the lads on Saturday in what's going to be a mammoth task. A few things absolutely baffle me. Simon Francis, again, introduced for no real reason whatsoever. It wasn't even because of a change of shape by the looks of it. It was literally swapping the wide defenders. Don't get it. Needed a change of shape badly. Getting overrun in the middle. Attacking, we are impotent. We need a shit ton of Viagra because we are looking pretty bloody woeful up front. Now I've got to watch it again, but from what I saw, what was it, only a couple of shots on target, maybe 6 or 7 in total, a lot of them wayward. Callum Wilson, it seemed like he should have scored when it got to the far post. A number of players are being berated, including Solanke, who I've defended before. Can't really make a judgment until I watch it all over again at this stage. But it's really not good. But we've seen this coming. At Norwich, against Norwich, 0-0, we're going away thinking, oh well, they did well. Yeah, they did do well. But then so did Sheffield United. So did Watford. So did Newcastle United after about 30 minutes. And so did Palace tonight. Teams are wising up to the AFC Bournemouth way of playing football, and they completely stunt our attack. Now, I've got to say, congratulations to Crystal Palace. Going down to 10 men so early, it was a rash challenge, it was a sending off. There's no doubt about that. But they held firm, and a lot of supporters in the footballing world deride Roy Hodgson as the dinosaur, even on Talk Sport. Cundy and Goldstein play the old Jurassic Park theme whenever they mention Roy Hodgson. Someone tweeted earlier on that Roy Hodgson was 46 years old when the toaster was invented, or something stupid, yet today he's outwitting England's brightest new prospect. Well, he did. Eddie Howe in his post-match interview looked bereft. He looked so downtrodden, and even at the end of the match he sort of said to his fans, "It's my fault." And it was, Eddie. You're not indispensable in this job. I don't want you to go. However, that was bad tonight, and yeah, it is your responsibility. But from my opinion, it seems like there's something else going on. I don't know if there's unrest or what, but there have been a number of players that have just not been themselves. We know who they are. There's no point in mentioning them, and some of them you just think, I'd almost be happy to show them the door. But tonight was a poor performance. Why can't we perform against teams that park the bus? Why does that happen? We just find them really hard to break down. Teams know our way of playing. I'm going to do a proper 5-word match report video later on, but I put out a tweet earlier and I asked for your 5 words, and we got a lot of telling responses. A superb exhibition of walking football, said Tommy Heffernan's poodle. If I can just lighten things for a minute, speaking of walking football, because it was my dad's birthday, he plays walking football for AFC Bournemouth, scores a shitload of goals as well, and he got this lovely message from someone that you may recognise. Take a look at this.
Hi Ian, it's Steve Fletcher from AFC Bournemouth. I'd just like to wish you, on behalf of myself and the whole football club, including the manager Eddie, and all the players, a very happy 70th birthday. I hear you like you walk in football and you score lots of goals. So up the cherries, have a great day, and I wish you all the best. Have a good one, Ian.
Cheers, Fletch. To see my dad smiling like he's been, that made my day. Certainly made up for, well, it didn't make up for what happened on the pitch, but that was really nice. So it was a good reminder from Tommy Heffernan's poodle there about the walking football. I think my dad might have actually scored a few goals tonight as well. Who had 10 men there, said Louis, sorry. When Bournemouth have played teams against 10, with 10 men before, we've usually asserted our dominance. Even playing with 10 men, Crystal Palace did what we did against Wolves, and sometimes it sort of galvanises a team, and other times it's not so good, and you can be exposed. It had a great effect for Crystal Palace, who I thought did really well, but for us, we just didn't seem to have that extra man. It was absolutely scary, and I'm sure Eddie Howe's going to be poring over the tactics videos tomorrow, as we will too. Fundamental issues with the team, someone says. Worse than the Wolves match. Yeah, completely. When's the next win coming, says Danny. God knows. Scary when you got Liverpool and Chelsea. But it would be so Bournemouth to actually get something against Liverpool. I'm certainly not expecting it, but there's no creativity whatsoever. Now, one guy, Robert, said, saddest day as a fan. The amount of chances squandered and the fact we had more men on the pitch but couldn't take advantage made me angry. But when my friend says he doesn't see us improving, it's made me feel worried and sad that our great adventure could be over. I don't think it's over. Eddie Howe's got us out of some horrendous positions before where we've thought that everything is going against us and we're going down. We've been closer to relegation before with a weaker squad. But unfortunately, the problem with AFC Bournemouth is that the squad is actually weaker than the sum of its parts, whereas previously it's been the other way around. Let's face it, in the first season in the Premier League, look at the players we had. League One players, Championship players that were overperforming. Now we've got players that are severely underperforming, and it's up to Eddie to get the best out of them, but it's just not happening at all at the moment. I'm going to carry on with this video until I finish this beer, by the way. So, some people on the Vital forums are actually being really positive about it, which is, well, not positive about the match because you can't be, but if you want a little bit of yin yang, then you've got one side and then another. Go onto the Vitals forum, because on Twitter it's not a healthy place to be at the moment. And if you're still one of the few that has actually got a Loud and Proud on Facebook, and you're actually not banned, fucking dickhead, then you'll see a lot of objecting opinions in there. A lot of people have said how out. Now I'm sure it's just frustration. I'm not sure there are too many more managers that would be better placed than to sort of oversee us escape this horrendousness we're in at the moment. And history tells us that we will. However, it just doesn't feel like it at the moment. I mean, in the Spurs match, there were those little chinks of excitement that sort of made me think, oh yeah, things can get all right. But I don't know. I mean, if you're a Palace fan at the moment, you've got to be very happy with that performance. Whereabouts you sat in the league at the moment? I mean, fucking hell, you're up to 5th. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't long ago that Palace fans were really worried about their plight, but that just shows that teams can turn it around. And at the end of the day, we are less than halfway through the season, and they've had that sort of microcosm of the best and worst things in the space of 15 games. We're lying 12th with 16 points. We haven't had much to cheer about, have we? I mean, the high points, obviously Southampton away, where we saw nearly a complete, we saw a good half of football, and then the second half was pretty dire. And in a way, we were lucky to stay in it, apart from their dog shit defending at the end. Aston Villa, were we lucky there? No, I felt that we deserved it. Probably the most convincing we've been is Everton at home. But there's not been that one complete performance for 90 minutes, has there? And I'm not saying that every team should be perfect, but how is it that you've got team? Now, I'm not being condescending. Teams like Crystal Palace, that they're bigger clubs, but in terms of football, I think they're on a par with us. Sheffield United, they've got 3 points more than us. They're on 19th, and with a goal difference of +4. Wolverhampton Wanderers, again a bigger club, but they're sort of pushing for the Europa League spots. How are they there and we're where we are? We've got this famous brand of amazing football, but is it the fact that we've maybe not got a plan B? In previous seasons we've had it, but this season it's just not happening. We've got this unrelenting style at the moment that's actually not very pretty, and there doesn't seem to be any players that are going to snap us out of it. Josh King, he's a huge miss for us. Can't wait to have him back, and I just pray that he's in contention on Saturday. Not good news about David Brooks as well, because he's going to be, at least a month again, and we were all thinking he's going to be a month ago. He's not back on grass yet, so whilst he's doing some training, it's not the kind of training that we want to see. We want to see him playing with the squad and hope that he's in contention ASAP. It will be like a new signing when he's back. I think that there are a number of issues in the squad that need to be sorted, not least Ryan Fraser's transfer situation, because, I don't know, it seems to just reflect the whole feeling in the squad about this uncertainty. Eddie Howe in his post-match interview, I mean, he looked like he was going to cry, but he did confirm that he's got no interest of going elsewhere, so let's not be worried he's going to go by another club plucking him out from like AFC Bournemouth. But you know, would we fare better under someone else? I don't particularly think we would. And there are people who are mentioning the R word. I can understand your sentiment, but there are definitely 3 worse teams than us in the Premier League this year. We will finish 17th or above, I can tell you that right now. But there is a massive amount of work that needs to be done. Every season we think we've got the best squad on paper that we've ever had, and it seems like an exciting time, but the performances are not materialising whatsoever. And ahead of Liverpool this weekend, I'm scared stiff about what we're going to see. Maybe we'll see one of those performances that, you know, at least we get some kind of credit from the media about sticking to our guns and playing the right way. But, you know, you look at the firepower that they've got up front compared to our stunted defence, and Steve Cook, who's broken a bone in his wrist or something. I mean, who knows whether he'll be back. If not, we'll be with a back 4 of, you know, I presume it will be. I mean, just imagine if he goes 5 at the back and he puts Frano in again, because you can sort of see that happening, can't you? Like thinking, well, we've done it against Man City before. We effectively did it against Wolves. I know it's a 3-4-3, but it was pretty much a 5-4-1, really, if we're looking at it. But you can just imagine he's going to go Rico left back. Let's just, for the sake of argument, say that Steve Cook is out. Let's go Frano, Ake, and Mepham, and then Adam Smith on the right. You just know it's coming, and it's. I mean, I don't want to make Simon Francis a scapegoat, because he's a magnificent person, character, and footballer. He's done so well for us, but he's not quite up to the pace of Premier League football at the moment, and you know, I would love to see him back to his best, but I think his best days are behind him, and you know, whether he agrees with that, not too sure. I would love to see him put in the performances that grace the Championship and in the early part of the Premier League, but I can't see it happening. But you just know he's going to get started again. People were moaning about billing tonight. Again, I need to watch it, but I don't know, it makes me really fucking sad. Subscribe to this channel and give this video a like or thumbs down, whatever you want to do. I don't really care. But there will be more videos that are coming out tomorrow. Callum Wilson, I mean, it's just, it feels like there's a detritus going on amongst the club, and it's almost like a disease that's catching. I mean, the goal that Crystal Palace scored, fucking hell. I mean, it was simple, wasn't it, really? It's the manner of these unrelenting, destitute performances that is scary. And I suppose as fans that have been treated to a good brand of football over the years, I mean, this is as bad as it's been in the Premier League era. So I don't want to be one of those fans that harps back to 10 years ago we were losing 5-0 at Morecambe. Have some kind of respect for Eddie and what he's done, what he has, but we're in the Premier League now. We're getting as much money as everyone else, at least from the TV companies, maybe not through the turnstiles or whatever, but we should be competing, and we've got this bright spark manager that can tactically outwit anyone. He says on our day we can beat anyone. Well, I don't think that's the case, Eddie, and in December it might not be. What a horrendous run of fixtures we've got. Chelsea are after Liverpool, Burnley after that, Arsenal on Boxing Day, Brighton away, who are playing pretty well under Graham Potter. That's my sign that I need to go to bed. Oh mate, shocking. I might have another beer and try to watch this shit. Subscribe, because there'll be more videos out tomorrow. Feeling a bit shit about tonight. I'm not Eddie out. I'm not one of them. But he's obviously made a boo-boo and a half tonight, and us supporters are unfortunately suffering the consequences of his bad managerial decisions. It's not a great time at the moment, but we will get through it as we always do. Oh, fucking hell. See you later. Back in the day!